Hi, and welcome to this brief Breeze training. I wanted to go ahead and take the time to review this in order for your team to start taking advantage of our easy ways to send out disclosures to your clients. So without further ado, I do want to go ahead and just highlight our support team. As you know, they are available 24/7, available to assist you with any technical issues you're having or any guidance needed. If you give them a call, they'll pick up by that second ring. If you'd like to chat with them, they do have a 10-second response rate. And if you send them an email, they will respond within 20 minutes. They are amazing and can always assist you with further guidance if needed. Also, I do want to take the time to highlight our three main products today. First one here is Skyslope, our transaction management platform, which is, I'm sure, what your brokerage is familiar and used to here, really keeping your brokerage up to par with compliance. Next product here I want to highlight is Skyslope Forms. You might have already dabbled into this or are a full master within Skyslope Forms. As you may know, we have certain partnerships with associations to have their association's forms saved and mapped into our system, ready to utilize for your team. And then what we'll be reviewing here today is Breeze, really a simplified guided experience for agents and sellers to quickly complete disclosures with confidence and accuracy. And I cannot emphasize that last statement there. So just to review here, Breeze major agent pain points typically is sellers aren't sure how to fill out or answer lengthy disclosures. As you may know, disclosures are super lengthy and it just leads to several rounds of revisions. So our solution here is really to give your clients that guided workflow and giving them that confidence to complete those disclosures on time with you and really giving you that peace of mind that it's being reviewed and any questions they may have along the way is being answered. So let's go ahead and navigate over to my screen there. I'm going to go ahead and bring up our main platform here. So at the moment, we are seeing Skyslope, our main transaction management area. And when you first log in, that is your homepage. This is where you're brought over to. And then when you want to send out disclosures or any forms overall, once again, those association libraries connected to your account, you'll navigate over to the apps button, far right-hand side, go over to forms, and it will bring you over to our forms product. This is, once again, where we have those association forms saved and mapped within the program for you to easily execute them out over to your clients. Now, if you have any questions on this area, feel free to reach out to me. More than happy to give you an overview here. But once again, we want to go ahead and focus in on Breeze. So we'll find Breeze by selecting the apps button once more and then selecting that option here, Breeze, and we'll be navigating over to our new area. Now, within this section, we do have a menu on the far left-hand side. You'll notice here we have that homepage button where you are able to go ahead and just hover back over to this homepage at any time. When you're ready to send out disclosures, you do have the ability to do so right through this button here. And also on our homepage, we'll find those buttons easily accessible as well. The next option here is My Team. So if you do need to share your account in order to allow others to send out disclosures on your behalf, or maybe you're a transaction coordinator and you'll be sending out the forms on behalf of others, you'll be able to do so here. Just make sure both accounts are set up and then you'll hit share. And you can either share your account or request access in order to send out disclosures on behalf of an agent. Now, if you do need further information on sharing or accessing an account, please reference the tutorials available on our support page, in which you can access them directly here through this Get Help button. On the left-hand side, you'll notice we have a quick, easy button to go over to our support page. We still want to make everything easily accessible for you, so you'll always find those easy toggle buttons there. And now, last button here I want to highlight is this apps button. If you select Skyslope, it does navigate you over to our transaction management tool. Or if you select Skyslope Forms, it will take you back over to our full forms library where all association forms can be found. I'll go ahead and head back over to our home page, which brings us over to our regular dashboard here. Now, if you're ready to start sending out a disclosure, you're going to go ahead and create a new disclosure. I'm going to go ahead and select that button. Now, if you'd want to go ahead and manually enter an address here, maybe you haven't started it inside of Skyslope at all. This is your first time sending out a disclosure or any type of paperwork, you can manually enter it in. However, since I know most of you will be inside Skyslope and probably already started off a forms file inside of there, you can select, I already have a file, and then you would just select the file that you want to work with. So those inside your Skyslope forms will appear here, and all you have to do is select the one you want to work with. I know that's the one, and then I'll scroll down and select next from here. It's going to go ahead and ask me to confirm which disclosures I want to start sending out. Now, please note that we only have certain forms available here that we feel would be helpful through the guided experience. If you're ever not seeing a form here, feel free to reach out to our support team. Let us know. We'll intake that feedback. Also, if there's some that are coming soon, you'll see them listed and have this notification listed on the far right-hand side, noting it's coming soon. I'm going to take a scroll up, and for this specific example, I'm just going to go ahead and send out the TDS, that transfer disclosure statement, but feel free to send out as many as you'd like. I'm just going to select this one, so I'll choose one. It's going to also have me confirm the seller details in here. So you'll notice it has already my client information filled out because there is that connectivity between forms and Breeze. Now, if there was a second seller that I needed to know, maybe a Mal Clooney in here or a business partner for George Clooney, I would select add another, and then you'll be able to enter in their details. However, you'll notice that within the second contact, it's going to say this contact will sign disclosures. For compliance purposes, only the first seller will receive the email to fill out the disclosures. And then once they're all filled out, both sellers will receive the email to sign, just because it is a two-step process. So only seller one will complete the first step here. Now I'm going to go ahead and exit this out. I don't have a second seller I want to list. George Clooney is selling his home solo, so I need to send out those disclosures just to him. And also note, if it's your first time sending out a set of disclosures, you will be prompted to enter your brokerage name and your license number. After you send out those disclosures, you won't be prompted that again, and then you'll be taken to the file dashboard where you can see the status it's in once you send it out. I'll go ahead and proceed with next here. And you'll notice we have those details. It does draft out an email message to your clients so they know what to expect within that email and that disclosure. Once you review everything, you can go ahead and send that out for them to fully review the disclosure. Kindly note, you can go ahead and fully customize this message and even your license if needed. Not your license, your signature area. I'm going to go ahead and send this out. This is looking great to me. I'll hit next. And then it has me confirm one last time that this is my client details, my personal details, and then that disclosure that I'm sending out. Let's go ahead and hit send. And you'll notice here, it takes us once again back to our full dashboard of this specific property address. It lets us know, hey, you sent out this disclosure. Your seller hasn't started it, and then we're just awaiting that response. I do want to go ahead and take you over to what it looks like when you want to open up an escrow as well. Title and escrow, you have the ability to open up here within our Breeze tool. So all you have to do is select open order, and then you'll be able to search up any contacts that you're looking for, either the company or the contact. You can go ahead and search it up from this area. You'll notice I just typed in 3 letters, and then, certain companies will appear. Now, if you're not seeing your specific contact that you regularly work with, that is completely fine. You can add a new contact here. You can add in their details. And moving forward, they will be a contact that you can select, and you can even default it so you don't have to enter it each and every time. We're going to go ahead and add this contact, and feel free to enter in those details that it's asking for as well. And then you'll notice now here moving forward, we can default whoever we're working with for all of our transactions. So I'll go ahead and select here Ms. Sati, who is my regular escrow officer. And I'll go ahead and just select this as a default contact for future listings. Hit next. It's going to have me confirm once again my message, making sure that I want to pre-open up escrow here. Open escrow. Excellent. I'm going to open that order up. And that confirms here opening up that escrow order with your contact. So, just as a note, you don't have to work with the contacts we have saved. You can add your own customized contact there. Now, focusing back in on our disclosures, I do want to take you through that workflow of what your seller would experience here in Breeze. So let's hop on over to my personal inbox. And I'm going to go ahead and just hit refresh. We are selecting this email here. We're going to pretend we're inside George Clooney's inbox. And, he does receive this message here to start filling out these disclosures. We'll hit start our disclosures. We'll then be prompted to agree to the terms and privacy notice. So we're going to go ahead and select we agree. We'll select continue. You'll notice we have here as well your agent details. So for any reason your client has any questions or maybe just needs further guidance along the way, they'll be able to go ahead and quickly see your contact details so they can reach out if they have any questions. Now, it does confirm for that TDS, that address. We're going to go ahead and say, yes, this looks correct. And then we can start in and start making those updates to the form. Now, also note here, Breeze is fully mobile optimized. So if your client is on a tablet, on their phone, they will be able to go ahead and do this full experience seamlessly through their side. And we'll go ahead and hit go to forms from here to start filling in our disclosures. Now, I also want to go ahead and just start off with a few pain points we're trying to solve with Breeze here. And that's first, when the seller fills out disclosures, they're looking at all these questions that they have in front of them. And we know that sometimes that can be a little bit overwhelming. So with Breeze, you'll notice as we're going through this, it is a very user-friendly experience, kind of, that same TurboTax guided workflow. So if you've used TurboTax in the past, you may know, hey, it's super easy to fill out your tax forms just because it's user friendly and you're answering simple yes and no questions rather than seeing the full form in front of you. Also, secondly, if there is a question that requires an explanation, or maybe your seller, just needs a little extra guidance, we do have flags available. So what you'll notice here as we keep going through this is if for any reason they have any questions, they'll be able to flag pieces of pieces of information or questions for your review. So they'll be able to let you know that they have questions on it and actually note it here through their flow. So this first section got completed. You'll see that's a check mark, and we'll hit start here. We're going to go ahead and answer a few questions here. Quick, as I told you, very user-friendly. Next, continue filling these out. And let's say here your client has a question, right? Maybe they're not understanding exactly what this means. They're going to flag it. And then they'll be able to ask you a question. So, maybe they're going to type in here, maybe they're not understanding the question. That's exactly what they're going to tell you is they don't understand it. And maybe they skip over a question. We know that sometimes they just want to continue going through and, they'll come back and answer it later. So we have smart logic built into this system. So you'll notice that within the form, it's going to highlight exactly what is not completed. Oh, sorry, just going through these questions. It's going to highlight what's not completed, and it's easily viewable between the client and yourself. Let's continue filling these out. Perfect. And now you'll notice here's that incomplete mark. So it's showing us that it's incomplete. It does save everything we've done throughout the section. However, it just allowed us to seamlessly continue through answering additional questions. If we look back at our agent dashboard, if I hit refresh here, you'll notice it now shows in the status in progress, but we're also able to see that there is a flagged item. So we'll be able to review that in just a minute here so we can help out our client continue filling out those disclosures. Let's go ahead and hit start for the next section. Go ahead, next. Another check mark, which means we're completed with that area. Perfect. I'm just going to skip a few questions here just so you can see what it looks like when we skip a few for the client. Once again, we are pretending to be the client here. So here is the super user-friendly experience inside of Breeze. Once again, it shows us that incomplete, and we're just going to review this. It gives us that notification that it is incomplete. However, we can still send this back to our agent or transaction coordinator for that full review. So I'll send that over. And perfect. It notifies your client you have sent it over for them to fully review. We'll go ahead and hop back in over to our agent side. We'll notice that status has updated to ready for review. And it also shows incomplete. So it's updating us, letting us know, there is pieces of information that are missing and even a flagged item, which means we have some questions here. And I do want to highlight that the Breeze link is only active for 5 days. Your seller will be receiving 3 notifications. The first one is letting them know that they have disclosures to fill out, and then they will receive 2 additional reminders that they need to fill it out before it expires. Now, don't be afraid if it expires within those 5 days, you can just hit this resend button that will be available to you once it expires, and then they'll just be able to continue filling it out seamlessly. So it doesn't delete their progress. They will just have an extension for an additional 5 more days to fill out those disclosures. So now that we're in this agent view, let's go ahead and check out those flagged items, the incompletes. So I'm going to jump right into it. I've just selected that flag item, and I can select this question for review. And I am brought right into the form. Here is that smart logic that I was reviewing earlier. If it is that flagged item, it's going to highlight it orange, and then any missed questions are just going to be highlighted yellow. You'll notice here there are a few highlighted, so I know that there is a few that were skipped. If I want to call my seller and maybe review these on a call, you can. Makes it much easier to just quickly review. However, I'm seeing here, George Clooney, I just don't understand this question. Can you expand? And that is regarding that carport. So what we can do, we'll go ahead and go back, hit exit here. I'm going to hit resend. So that way we can send George Clooney that answer to his question. So once again, you can give your client a call, or if you want to just type out a message, you're able to do so here. So hi, George. Excellent. Once we are done with our message, we can resend that over to our client, and it does go ahead and have it resent here. And then our client, once they hop back over to their inbox, not only do they get a notification that it was incomplete originally when they sent it back over to us, but now they're being notified of this new message that I sent. And they can review your answer here through this email if you chose to respond to them via email. But let's say George Clooney understands that question now. He's ready to complete those disclosures. He's going to select Finish Disclosures. Once again, prompted over to Breeze on his end. And here is the beauty of our Breeze tool. He'll be able to just select Continue. And let's say he just wants to hop right into what's incomplete and finish off. He'll be able to select View All Incomplete. And it's going to take him exactly to those incomplete questions. So he'll be able to just fill them out without having to review everything all over again. And you'll notice we just completed those. And once we're complete, we get check marks all across our disclosure pages. And we can send this off to our agent, which is us, for final review for that TDS. So I'll hop back over to Breeze. And you'll notice now this has been filled out. We are getting that green mark, which means we're ready. And so as to complete our full process here inside Breeze, you will need to send it out for signatures in order to complete that full process. So you can hit send for signatures, and it's going to send it out through DigiSign straight from Breeze. Or if you want to send this along with other forms inside of your Forms tool, you can select Add to Forms, and it's going to include it within your file. Now, I just want to get this done. So I'm just going to send this by itself and hit Send for Signatures. There was nothing additional to note here. We'll select Next. It's going to ask us to confirm the rest of our details here, asking our client to sign those disclosures to confirm accuracy. We'll hit Send. And then let's go back over to George Clooney's inbox. Come back to the home page. We get that new notification that we need to sign those completed seller disclosure forms. So I'm going to go ahead and open that up. We get that full notification here, or that full message that we need to sign those disclosures. So George Clooney, we're going to go ahead and sign now. And then they are prompted over to DigiSign. Well, they'll need to agree to the terms and conditions, making their signature contractually binding. So I'm going to hit I agree. And then your seller will be able to now review the actual form in its entirety. Scroll up and down. No longer as intimidating, of course. And we'll hit that start button on the left-hand side, and they'll be able to just sign exactly where they need to in order to complete this disclosure. Notice as I'm just selecting through here, very similar to that forms experience that your seller goes through. We'll select finish signing, and that completes the signing portion for your client. If they need to download a copy of their Breeze disclosure, they can. However, kindly note they will always receive a fully executed copy anytime they sign from a Skyslope platform. So this would be an additional copy. I'll go back over to Breeze. You'll notice now here, it does say signed 1 out of 2. So I know that George Clooney has signed. We are complete there. I just need to sign here as that agent. So I'll select sign now, which I have the ability to just sign here right out of Breeze. Saves us additional steps so we don't have to walk out of our tool. We'll have to agree to the terms and conditions as well. We'll hit start. And then I'll be able to just select my area for signature. I'm going to select a style signature. You can even create your own if you want to. Use this signature though. I'll use the default, and we are complete. We're going to finish signing. And that completes our signing portion here for Breeze. So let's hop on over. You'll notice it now shows complete. And the beauty of this full functionality is if I go to apps, if I go back to Skyslope Forms, we'll have the full forms file saved inside of our forms tool. So if I select that forms file that I just sent out disclosures from, and I go over to the envelope section, you'll notice those Breeze disclosures are in there. They are complete, intact, and that is our all-in-one solution for sending out our forms utilizing our Breeze product. Now, that is full connectivity here. When you're ready to submit that over, of course, to your admin team, to your broker, you're going to go over to our transaction management tool and then simply create that listing or create a transaction and proceed accordingly. Now, to end here, once again, we really appreciate your time and attention through this training. Feel free to reach out to our support team if you have any additional questions, or if you're interested in additional guidance, feel free to reach out. More than happy to assist you guys. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and happy sky sloping.